Hello friends. Last class I have started with the new topic. How can you write the Python program in Arduino, and if you want to implement any kind of the IoT protocol or IoT applications, how can you write using the Python rather using C programming? Okay. So for that I already told some libraries are required to install. You can open a same Arduino IDE and you can write down the program, but that library should be different. Okay, so PyParmata, this I have already discussed on last class. PyParmata library is required. This is PyParmata. So PyParmata library is required. So import, if you write the import PyParmata on the Arduino IDE sketch section, so it will be so whatever programs, whatever functions and packages are they are under the PyParmata, this will be enabled if you write those packages and program in your code. Okay. Import time. So time is required to mention any time or delay time. Okay, if you want to mention in delay time, so for that you need to import the time package. And which board you have connected. Okay, this also you have to write. Okay, because the program, whatever program you will write under the Arduino IDE, this program you have to upload on the Arduino board. Okay, so there is a variable type board is equal to pyparmata.arduino. So here you have to mention the port name. So this I have already discussed in last class. Okay. Next is the another variable. Here I have written that it is equal to pypermata.util.iterator within bracket bro. This variable will be passed into this function. Okay. So what is this? If you want to read the status of the board, whatever data are available on inside the board, so whatever data are available inside the board, if you want to read those data, for that you have to write this line. Okay. So this data will be read and store into the IT variable. Okay. First, the whatever program is uploaded in the Arduino program, this can be written read by the this syntax. Okay. Then IT dot start. So entire program will be execute. If you write the IT dot start, entire program, whatever code you will write, this will be execute. This one. So main code is this one. Okay. So here, in Arduino C program, you have to mention the pin number. So that particular pin that is connected to the input port, or it is connected to the output port. Suppose you want to turn on the LED. What is the program here? So you have to push button. You have to press the push button, the LED will be turned on. Okay. So whatever pressing, suppose you are pressing the push button, so this value will be act as input for the Arduino, and the LED will be turned on. So that will be output. That will be acted as the output for Arduino IDE. Okay. So that means suppose if you have connected the push button in the digital pin 10. Okay, so here this is the syntax for defining the any kind of the port, whether it is input port or output port. So I'm storing in a one variable digital input is equal to board dot get pin. Okay, which pin you have connected in that particular 10 pin. So this you have to write. Get pin within bracket D. D is the type of the pin, digital or analog pin. Digital. 10 is the pin number. Okay, then I is the whether this pin will be acted as input or output, whether whatever the device you have connected, this device is acting as input or output. Okay, so as I have connected the push button in that pin number 10, so then this pin number 10 will be acted as a input pin. Okay, the instruction is written here. So within the string get pin, you have to pass those variable type of the pin number and the mode of the pin. This thing we have to pass through the board dot get pin. Now again, so suppose the LED you have connected with the output pin. So this you have to store in one variable. So LED is equal to same syntax board dot get pin within bracket the digital pin only here also. Okay, and digital D colon 13 number pin you have connected the LED. So here I am going to send the logic 1 or logic 0 through the Arduino. to LED. Okay, so then LED will be acted as a output pin, so it is O. Okay, so input pin you have mentioned, and output pin and output mode you have mentioned here. Now this is the main set of code, here only. So the loop in the C program, you have seen that void setup and void loop functions are available, but here is no concept of this thing. You have to, if you want to execute any program multiple times, you can write under the while loop. Okay, so the syntax is while true. Okay, then the if this set of instruction will be continue infinite time. Okay, so while true, so if the push buttons, you can see in the Arduino and this diagram, if push button is pressed, okay, so this data will be stored into the pin number. Okay, so that value I am storing in a digital X. So digital input, okay, digital whatever board number, this I have already stored in a digital input variable. Okay, so the digital input dot read, you need to read those pin. You need to read the data from that particular pin. Okay, so that's a digital p underscore pin dot read, because the pin configuration everything I am stored in a digital pin variable dot read. You need to read the value from that particular pin. So this I am storing in a X. Okay, if the switch is pressed, then only the LED will be turned on. Okay, if some value is there under the X, then the LED will be turned on. If switch is not pressed, then nothing will be there under the X. Nothing can be read by the read function. Okay, then X will be false or X will be 0. Then that LED will be turned off. Okay, so whatever data I am storing, so if any data is there, if X is true, if any data is there, X is true, then LED will be turned on. How can you write? So LED. So LED pin you have connected in a pin number 13, that you have configured, you have stored in a LED variable. Okay. So through that variable you have to turn on the LED by writing the write function. Okay. So LED dot write within bracket 1. So it will be sustained for 1 millisecond. Else, if nothing is there, if switch is not pressed, if nothing is there in X value, then the LED will be turned off. LED dot write within bracket 0. You need to turn off the LED. Okay, so after that it will be paused for a certain time, 0.1 millisecond. Okay, this is logic 1 I am sending, and logic 0. So within logic 1 and logic 0, uh, the sleep time is the 0.1 millisecond. Okay, so again it will be turned on, again it will be turned on. So turn on, and after that, if again you need to turn on the value, then you need to wait for some time. If switch is pressed, then turn on. If switch is not pressed, then turn off. So again you need to do this, again you need to execute this program. So for that, the 0.1 millisecond, you have to wait for the 0.1 millisecond. Okay, I think it is clear. Again I am repeating, you can see the LED pin that you have connected with any digital pin, and this is the push button. This is also connected with another digital pin. Okay, so whatever push button is connected with digital pin, this I have already configured under the digital input variable. And so if you want to read this data, so this data we can store in a X variable. And in LED variable, you have to store the LED pin configuration. Okay, so you need to send the logic 1 and logic 0 through the LED variable by writing the write function, logic 1 and logic 0. Okay, concept is same, but the syntax and line of instructions are different for the Arduino with Python and Arduino with the C. The next coming lecture, I will discuss another kind of the Arduino program where you can see the analog read or analog write this function. How can you write in a Arduino with Python? I think you like my video, and please like, share, subscribe my channel. Thank you.